Hey, welcome to Soulful Sundays, and it's your favorite life coach, Dr. Boz. Today for Soulful Sundays, Spirit is loud and clear. I feel like this message is for multiple people. I'm going to talk about it in two sort of lessons, but it's the whole point of again, how can we be more selfful and keep and fill our cup? And I want to talk about it through the lens of joy and happiness. So oftentimes people interchange those words, but they are very distinct. People chase happiness, but you are supposed to create joy. And so there's a difference. When we chase something, we are after it. We are always trying to go after it. And for many people, what that looks like is putting that responsibility or onus for making us happy. We put that on other people. And then that puts an immense amount of pressure on them. Or vice versa. We try to make people happy. We make ourselves responsible for other people's happiness. Either way, that's a no-go. And that's why I said we don't chase happiness or we don't make other people happy, but we create joy. And when we think about creating, it's a process, right? So everybody creates differently. Some people like to, write things down. I think about my writer friends. Some of us are different. I might write in a composition book, or I might do some mind mapping on the wall. Other people need to type it up. Some people need to spit it into a recorder. But either way, we create differently, and that's okay. Like, we all have our own way in which we choose to create joy in our lives. Totally fine. But this is where it gets sticky, is people are doing what they need to do to create joy. And it's often because it's hard. It's hard to work through certain things. And since it's Black History Month, I'm going to use the metaphor of our formerly enslaved ancestors whenever they decided they needed to run, right? So think about it. When they were going to go on the run, all they had was faith, right? Whatever their faith was. Some people adopted Christianity. Some people stuck to their original religion and practices. But either way, there was faith, right? So they believed firmly. Even if they were scared, they still moved, right? Because they had to. They had no choice. But I want to talk about a very important part, and that is when they ever came to swamps. And you see this scene like a lot in slave movies or movies about enslaved people. And it's like they get to this point and they have to either hide in the swamp or the marsh or whatever it is, or sometimes they go there, to cleanse themselves or whatever the case is, right? But like, I want you to think about that scene where they're going through the woods or they're walking, whatever, and then they have to cross this water, right? And it's unknown. You know that there's probably snakes in there. You know there's probably other animals. But either way, it's terrifying, right? So why do they do that? Why do they still go through that swamp water up to here, risk the snakes, getting bit by animals? Some people have never swam, so they were afraid of that part. Why did they risk it? Because on the other side was something better. Period. On the other side was better than what was in that swamp, and it was better than what they were running from or what they were trying to escape. So what I'm saying is, if you are unhappy right now, whether it is because of your job, your relationships, or just in general, because you need to do some healing and old wounds are kind of taking over your spirit right now, and you know that's what you need to do, yes, it sucks, right? They hated to be enslaved. The conditions in which they were in were horrific, right? So they were like, I'm going to run scared, even through this swamp, this muddy water, as no matter how icky, nasty, terrifying it is, I'm willing to go into the dirt, in the mud, because once I get out and get to the other side, there is something else. And maybe it might not be what I expect it to be. Maybe it might not be as great as I expect it to be, but it damn sure was better than living life in chains. And so that is what I want for you to do, is stop living your life in chains when you don't have to. Yes, the water is muddy and it's icky, but look at what people did. They found somebody who they trusted, who was a trusted leader to help guide them. So think about yourself and mentors and other people who can help you through the process, right? Sometimes they had a support system. Sometimes they were dolo and they just had to do it. But whatever it is, you have to be willing to get in the muddy water. I don't know if that's going to therapy. I don't know if that is facing your fears. I don't know if that's forgiving, confronting, quitting, whatever it is. You got to be willing to go through that muddy, muddy, swampy water in order to get to the other side. And maybe when you get to the other side, it sucks too, but then you just keep going and keep going and keep going until you get to Canada. That's all I got for you today. You have to want to do the work. And I know sometimes it's hard, But once you start going and you have your faith, on the other side is something better. So you have to trust yourself. You have to trust in whatever your divine being existence is, spirit, God, Allah, whatever it is, that you will be guided safely through those muddy waters. Doesn't mean that you might not get a nip here or a cut here, but you're going to be guided safely through those muddy waters, and you're going to go to the other side. And on the other side is something better. So if you want something better, stop making people responsible for your happiness. Stop making yourself responsible for other people's happiness. Get in the mud so that you can get out to the other side. And that's all I got. Have a lovely, lovely Sunday. You already know where you can reach me, brendaschannel.com. I'm going to have my coffee so I can wake up, throat scratchy, everything. But I felt like this message was super important. So happy Sunday. Peace.